Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I put together some adorable Easter and spring DIYs, simple, easy, and budget friendly. Hope you enjoy the video. These are the supplies you will need for this DIY. So I have this little love decor that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using the back, but I need to remove the arrow, and it has like a little screw in there, so I just need to remove it. I need to cover the little love decor, and I'm going to use this craft paper, but I do change it. Even though it's cute, I like a different design. You'll see I change it. Just going to trace it and then cut it out. Place the craft paper on top of the decor. I'm just going to use some Mod Podge. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. I'm going to take out those little rabbit feet, and I'm going to paint the inside of the rabbit feet pink. Here's the craft paper I decided to change, and I like this better. It's a little more colorful. So instead of painting inside the rabbit feet, I decided to use some antique wax, place a little bit inside, and make it look like the rabbit was inside the carrot patch and got his little feet dirty. So now I'm going to put everything back together. I'm just going to place the little feet on top of that decor. And to place it down, I'm just going to use some hot glue. I made a rabbit tail out of yarn. I just made a little pom-pom. Now, because the feet are hanging over the edges, it will have a difficult time laying on something flat, but I liked it this way. And this is how it turned out. Super cute. Next up, we're going to make a cute little shelf sitter Dollar Tree items, except for the little carrots I got from Hobby Lobby. And first thing I want to do is just paint this, give it one quick coat of some ivory paint. So I'm going to be covering the house with this craft paper. I picked this up from Hobby Lobby. Now all I'm going to do is place it on the craft paper, trace it, and cut it out. So I'm going to use my glue stick just to place the craft paper on top of that little house. Didn't need Mod Podge because it's not going to really place anything heavy on top. So I picked these up from Hobby Lobby. They're little carrot stickers. I got them 40% off, but I know Dollar Tree is starting to carry something like this, so you can pick them up at Dollar Tree as well. I'm going to be using 3. I only pulled out 2, but I do end up using 3. Now they have these little self-adhesive little sticker dots in the back. Just going to remove them because I'm just going to place them down with some hot glue. So I stacked them on top of each other, and that's how I'm going to place them down. So I'm also going to be using this little Dollar Tree Happy Easter little piece, and it comes in a pack. Got these last year. I think they're going to be selling them this year as well. So just going to place it right on top. I wanted to add some jute twine and wrap it around the little house, so I'm just going to place a little glue in the back and start wrapping it. I'm going to make a little jute twine little bow. Just going to wrap it around my hands a few times and just create a little bow. And I'm going to place it right at the top where the other jute twine is. To add some finishing touches, I'm just grabbing some Dollar Tree buttons, and I took out an orange one. Just going to place it right at the top where the bow is. And that's it. Look how stinking cute this came out. Here are the supplies you will need for this DIY. Some craft paper, one of the long table decor signs from Dollar Tree, and the little bunnies from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start off by painting that wood long sign with some white paint. Now the bunnies are attached by jute twine. I just need to cut them apart because I'm only going to be using 4. I'm also going to remove the little bunny tails because I don't need them. They're so tiny. I'm going to make my own. So I'm going to be covering the bunnies with some craft paper. This was purchased from Hobby Lobby, and they're all going to be a different color. So I'm just going to place the bunny on the craft paper and trace it and cut it out. I'm going to be placing the craft paper in the back of the bunny. So to place down the craft paper, I'm just going to use the Mod Podge on all 4 bunnies, and this really comes out adorable. I love the way it looks at the end. So let me tell you a quick story while I'm doing this. So I was at work and my Ring camera kept going off, and I'm like, why is my Ring camera going off during the day? So I look at my Ring camera and guess what I seen? Because I live right near a farm. There was like 10 goats sitting in front of my yard, just running around like it was nothing. I was like, oh, I wish I was home. I'd go out there and pet them. So I had to call animal control to make sure that, they weren't going to get hit by a car. For some reason, this farm I live by, their animals always escape. Usually we'll see a cow or a sheep, but I've never seen 10 goats in my yard before, but I thought it was hilarious. So I'm going to go ahead and finish placing down the craft paper and all the little bunnies. Now I'm going to be using some sandpaper, just going around the edges on the bunnies. And once it dried with the Mod Podge, it makes it so much easier to use the sandpaper and go around the edges. Now I'm going to place down the little bunny's tail, and I just grab a couple pieces. I have a very thick white yarn that I got from not Dollar Tree. I say Dollar Tree so much, it's in my brain. I got it from Hobby Lobby. Just cut a little piece and use it for their tail. I'm just going to hot glue them down. Look how cute those little bunny tails look on the bunnies. So I use my Cricut, and I'm going to place down the vinyl words that say Cottontail Cuties on that board that I painted. Now I'm going to take those bunnies and I'm going to place them right on that board with some hot glue. This was super easy to make, and it really comes out like store-bought, to me at least. I like the way it came out. Now, if you don't like the craft paper I use, you can pick any craft paper of your choice, or you can paint them. But I thought it was really a cute little DIY for Easter. So I wanted to add something to the bottom part of the sign, so I grabbed some Dollar Tree buttons and just picked 2 colors. I'm just going to hot glue them to the sign, and that is it. And look how cute this came out. Here's what you'll need for this DIY: some Dollar Tree moss, little chicken wood cutout, and a little Dollar Tree fence. First thing I want to do is remove the chewed twine off the fence, and I'm going to give it one quick coat of some ivory paint. So I'm going to pull out one of the little cutouts from Dollar Tree. I was so excited when I went to Dollar Tree that they came out with them this year. My Dollar Tree is slowly putting out some Easter products, and I was so excited when I seen this. So anyways, I'm going to cover the hole with some spackle. I'm going to start off by painting a little chicken with some truffle paint. It's truffle chalk paint. Just going to give it one coat. Just going to rub the candle all over the chicken because I'm going to apply another coat of paint over the top. It's going to be yellow. So this way, when I distress it, it'll come through very easy. Sometimes people use Elmer's glue. That doesn't seem to work for me, no matter how many times I've tried. So I'm going to use the candle wax to distress it. Now I'm going to apply yellow paint right over the top. So what I'm going to do here is grab some sandpaper and just go around the edges of the chicken and then in front of the chicken, because remember I used the wax, so the brown paint should come through. I also use a scraper as well to help chip some of the paint. Now I'm going to be using some antique wax just to distress the fence, placing some antique wax down at the bottom, a little bit in front and between the little wood slots. So I'm going to place the chicken right on the fence. I'm just going to use some hot glue to place the chicken down. And then I created that little stand. That stand that I'm going to be using is a paint stick. Just cut it and I painted it with the ivory paint. I wanted to have a little stand to the fence. This way I can place it, on a shelf or something. So there's that little stand that I created, and I'm just going to hot glue the fence down on top. I'm going to hold it down in place until the glue dries. So now I want to add some moss to the bottom of the fence. So I'm grabbing some Dollar Tree moss and just going to apply a little glue at the bottom and place the moss down at the bottom a little bit towards his little feet. And look how cute it looks. It's adorable. I took some fabric and little pieces of some ribbon and cut them in half. And I'm just going to make a little tiny messy bow. Some are Dollar Tree ribbon, some are just pieces of fabric that I had, and making an X, and then I'm going to tie it off with a piece of fabric. I'm going to trim down the ends of the ribbon, and then I'm going to place it on the fence. So I wanted to add a button to the bow, so I'm going to fish through these little buttons from Dollar Tree and pick out a button that I like. So here's the button I decided to place down on the bow. So I'm going to be using some drop cloth, and I'm just going to cut a little tiny piece. Then I'm going to write out the word chirp. So I'm going to go ahead and spell out the word chirp on this drop cloth, which is not easy, but it still looks cute. And I'm going to frail the ends a little bit and also add a little black marker around the edges. Now I'm just going to place it right on the fence and look how cute it looks. It's so adorable. So Miss Chick needed something. She looked kind of plain. So I'm going to take some jute twine and just make a tiny little bow and just place it down with some glue. And there you have it. This project is done. And look how adorable this one came out. All right, this is the last DIY. I took a Dollar Tree egg. This is the egg that sits on a stand. And sorry I didn't show you the beginning. I don't know what happened to that footage, but I'm going to start off by painting the egg with the brown paint. The other side of the egg has a design that says Happy Easter with a little rabbit. So now I'm going to rub a candle all over the egg because I'm going to apply other colors on top. It makes it easier to distress afterwards. The first color I'm going to apply is a baby pink color. So the middle is going to be like a ivory paint, and then the bottom half is going to be like a green color. I wanted it to be 3 different colors. I seen this on Pinterest and I wanted to recreate it. Thought it was so pretty. I didn't use any tape. I just blended the colors together, made it as straight as possible. So the final color I'm going to be using is called Wedge Wood Green. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry for about an hour and then come back, and then I'm going to distress it and show you how the brown paint comes through. So now everything's dry. I'm going to grab some 80 grit sandpaper, and where the candle wax was underneath, it'll just automatically show the brown paint come through when I use the sandpaper going over the top. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to go through the whole egg, the sides, and everything. Now here's the fun part. I'm going to make a big messy bow. Grabbed just a bunch of fabric that I had and just pulled some strips apart, some raffia, just everything you could think of. I'm just going to pile all together, cut them down. I did add a little bit of the moss in there as well, even though it kind of fell apart, but I added behind everything once I place it on the egg. So I'm just grabbing the strips, placing them together. Like I said, I'm not doing an X or anything like that. I'm just taking the fabric and cutting them. I'm going to wrap them all together with some jute twine. So I went ahead and painted that bottom base dark brown, just so you know I didn't show it. So now I'm just going to go around and trim a little bit, and then I'm going to place it right on top of the egg and then do some more trimming. This comes out so pretty. Nobody would ever guess you bought this from Dollar Tree. I love the way it comes out. So now you can see the big, huge, messy bow. I place that on the egg. Well, of course, I have to cut it down a bit. There's the moss underneath, and I'm just going to make sure it stays under there. I'm going to place some glue eventually. Then I'm going to start trimming, cutting it down because it's just a little bit too wild. Now I'm taking a piece of drop cloth because I want to write out the word spring. So I'm going to cut it and then I'm going to frail the ends. Also going to be using a Dollar Tree button. I picked out a nice brown one and I placed the spring first on the ribbon, and then I'm going to place the button right over the top. So I wanted to add a little bit of greenery, so I'm just grabbing some picks that I picked up from Dollar Tree last year. I'm just going to cut a few pieces, place them in between the ribbon, and just hot glue them down. So I'm placing the greenery a little bit at the top and the side, trying to balance it out a little bit. But look how pretty this came out. This is like my favorite DIY today. I love it. Let me know which one was your favorite today. Leave it in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Take care, everyone. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.